Mike Campbell might be rock guitar's best kept secret. He didn't shred solos, yet without him, Tom Petty's greatest songs wouldn't exist as we know him today. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why Mike's deceptively easy yet uniquely effective playing makes him one of the most important guitarists you never realized you admired. When I think of the best rock artists from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even 2000s, I always think of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Their simple, unique, timeless style was largely due to Tom Petty himself. But he didn't do it alone. Mike Campbell, guitarist and co-writer on a number of their hits, was a huge part of their sound, and he's a massively underrated guitarist. He's perhaps the rock master of tasteful, perfectly crafted guitar parts, always adding only what's essential to the song. Here's an example. Not a complicated riff, but it's effective. Can you even imagine that song without that riff? I can't. But now, let's take a look at a perfect example of his to break down how he did what he did on all those records. Let me show you. Of course, that's the key lick from their song Breakdown, one of their first hits. Of course, Tom Petty's voice stands out in that song, but it's really Mike's haunting guitar lick that makes that song. But why? Isn't it just a pentatonic lick? No, let me show you why. I mean, sure, I can say all of these notes are from the A minor pentatonic. And it's true, but Mike leaves a ton of space in there. Which really matches the sparseness of the song. Nobody used space like Mike Campbell, and we guitarists can learn a lot from it. But there's more than just leaving space to this. There are other ideas that we can take away from what he did on this song too. Like you'll notice Tom's vocal is staccato while Mike's guitar line flows and swings a bit. And that phrasing with those lazy slides adds a relaxed feel to the timing and slightly drags, and that adds a contrast to Tom's vocal, really adding to the song. But there's even more in the solo. It's a masterpiece of simplicity and power, and I'll show you why. First, let's give the solo a listen. Now, the solo's built on that one lick, but somehow it's different too. Let's have a look at the first line. Now, Tom's vocal is absent, so the guitar's got to step up, and it does it in two different ways. One is obvious, and that is that the guitar tone is higher pitched, going to the bridge pickup, but also has a little more overdrive and bite to it. And the other is that there's a little bit more activity in the... But there's more that we can take away from this tiny but effective solo. Here's line 2. That's right, just a bit of call and response. Always a good way to make a strong statement. But now here comes an absolutely key element in effective guitar soloing. Here's line 3. I love this line, and I think it's something we should all strive for in our soloing. But why? It's so simple. Here's why. There are two things going on here. One is that the rest of the band drops out, so the guitar's got to take up a little more space. How does he do that? Not with a flurry of notes, but by using double stops like this. And then he does something very classic but effective. He goes up the neck and ends on a high note. Perfect segue for the last verse of the song. So, just a pentatonic lick? No way. There's a lot more to playing than the notes that you pick, and nobody knows that more than Mike Campbell. There's a lot we can learn from him. And speaking of learning from the masters, Joe Walsh was one of them. He knew how to captivate with ideas that were simplicity itself. Check out this video where I show you how Joe worked his simple magic, and you can too. So check out this video. I'll see you in the next video, and I'll see you on down the road.